Number 5, I think, is quite often seen in top 10 lists on YouTube. And I'm surprised that it's only number 5 and not closer. It's Sunkern. It's a grass type, very weak, maybe even more weak than Farfetch'd. Its evolution doesn't make up for the fact it's a seed with big eyes. It's just such a cutesy, unappealing design. It's a sunflower seed, evolves into a sunflower. Woo! And Sunflora I try to use, but it just gets demolished, just absolutely destroyed in Wi-Fi battles. So I thought, screw it, I'm not going to use Sunflora. Sunkern is just... It's on this list because it's small, it's weak, and its evolution just doesn't do it justice at all. And there's so many grass-type Pokemon, almost every grass-type Pokemon, even like, I don't know, the first stage Pokemon like Bellsprout could beat it. Bellsprout, I mean, when Bellsprout is better than you just got to think to yourself, why am I in this universe? And that's Sunkern for you. I'm shocked to find that out of all 20 Pokemon on my list, only 2 baby Pokemon exist. You would have thought that in a top 20 worst list that the weakest and the cutesiest of Pokemon that have no purpose in the universe other than to be cute don't even cover half of my list. There's only 2. One of these is 4th. Number 4 is Igglybuff. Yeah, it's a pink ball with big eyes and a haircut, well, a fringe. Jigglypuff was kind of not that good. Wigglytuff was slightly better in the attack department, but doesn't really kick ass. Igglybuff, take Jigglypuff and just take away what made Jigglypuff cool, which was, its pen and the fact it would draw on people, and that was funny. I enjoyed that, Jigglypuff in the anime. Igglybuff, though, just lacks that sort of persona. Therefore, it's just some, oh my god, look at it, it's got cute eyes. It's annoyingly cute, with no substance. Its stats are... Do I really need to say this again? It's crap. It has crap stats. Its design... It's a balloon. A tiny little balloon that floats, according to Pokemon Black's sprites. That's why it's on the list. Yeah, I've just realised what's third on my list. What gets the bronze medal. And people are going to argue with me, definitely on this one. Well, let's find out now. Number 3 is Happiny from 4th Gen. That's right, the pre-evolution of Chansey. I just put a Chansey pre-evo in the top 3 worst Pokemon. Worse than Igglybuff. Let me repeat. This Pokemon, according to me, is worse than Igglybuff. Okay, let me explain why. Because I know there are going to be some fans of Happiny and Chansey and Blissey. Chansey is okay. It's a great special wall. But its attack is non-existent almost. So it can't really do anything other than be a wall for your partners. Blissey improved that by making it slightly stronger and a better defense. Happiny just has no purpose. Other than it's adorable again. I think it's worse than Igglybuff in that case. Igglybuff, you just see it and just go, wow, that's awful. With Happiny, it just gives you that little bit of hope, that little bit of hope. The hope that, wow, it has a huge HP for a baby Pokemon, it might have some use. Then you use it and you go, nah, its attack's non-existent. Even more non-existent than Chansey. You half all of its stats, and what'd you get? A false promise, just to fill a spot in the 4th Gen Pokedex. That's just sad. So yeah, whilst Igglybuff, everyone knows it sucks, Happiny just sort of raises its HP to make it seem like it's better, but really it's just even more pointless than Igglybuff. Whilst Igglybuff started that, Happiny just continued on with it, so that makes it a lot worse because people at Nintendo Game Freak are thinking to themselves, they must like them because they're not complaining. They think Igglybuff's cute, so let's make a pre-evo of a Pokemon that was just fine without one. But there is one pre-evo, well, it's not even a pre-evo, it's a baby Pokemon that serves even less of a purpose, believe it or not. Number 2 is one I didn't even realize would be at number 2 until I made this list. Number 2 is Phione. Yeah, weren't expecting that, were you? You probably were. But I bet a majority of you weren't expecting that, because Phione is one of those Pokemon where you go, who? Hang on. Oh yeah, that one, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. It's one of those really, that one existed, really? It's like taking 2 cakes. You know? You eat one, you get 1 cake. You got 1 Manaphy. You'd hope breeding it would give you another Manaphy. Wrong. You get a baby Pokemon that doesn't even evolve into its parent, you know? Like, with most Pokemon, when you breed them, you get a pre-evo and then you get the adult version. So, like, breed a Rapidash, you get a Ponyta that can evolve into a Rapidash. Simple. But this is a very weird case. Manaphy's legendary, I think the only Pokemon that could be bred. But when you breed it, you get Phione, and then you think, oh, cool, a new thing to put in my Pokedex. New information. Woo. But after a while, you realize that as you level up, it doesn't evolve into Manaphy. A baby form that doesn't evolve into its adult. How the hell does that work? Apparently they're like sort of like younger brother or sister in the anime or films. I didn't watch the films. All I can say is Phione, my god. Gimmick at best. Just like, not even a gimmick, just more of a waste of space. They didn't need to add that legendary to the legendary list in 4th gen. There was enough legendaries as it is. There was Cresselia, there was Heatran, there was Regigigas, there was Arceus, there was Shaman, there was Darkrai. Did we really need another? One that looks exactly the same as one we already had? Manaphy had 2 of everything. Phione, guess what? Has only 1. Like 1 antenna, 1 like little jewel in the center. Yeah, that's why it's on the list. It's just waste of space. And that's probably the worst comment you can give to anything. You're a waste of space, Phione. You're a waste of space. Number 1, though, actually fills a space, but doesn't just give anything to the world. It doesn't give anything to the Pokemon world. Prepare yourself. Let me point this out to you. I make this list because I believe that there were some Pokemon that deserved to be on this list more than others, but for some reason people disagree and have just removed them completely. I put Smeargle on this list. I bet a lot of people haven't put Smeargle on this list. I bet a lot of people haven't put Happiny on this list. I even bet that people haven't put Sigilyph on this list. This Pokemon now has been on every list, as far as I know. Its shape, its moveset, its stats, all appalling. I'm of course talking about number 1 spot, and that number 1 spot is Magikarp. Nah, just kidding. It's Feebas. I'm kidding again. No. I'm okay. Seriously, number 1 spot is. Drumroll, please. No problem. Unown. Yeah, that's not surprising at all. Unown, or Unown, however you want to pronounce it, is a letter. with an I. A letter with an I. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. A letter with an I. Sounds stupid, doesn't it? Sounds silly. Sounds preposterously basic. If preposterously is actually a word. Unown is a gimmick taken too far. Let's have Unown be a Pokemon with 26 forms, each one representing a letter of the alphabet. That's cool, right? Wrong. You might as well have made an evolution where all the forms look like numbers. Oh god, I just gave them ideas. Hopefully they won't run with it. Anyhow, they also added 2 extra forms, an exclamation mark and a question mark form. Who is going to have 6 Unown to make a phrase? Apparently, some people online do. They actually have 6 useless frickin' Pokemon in their teams online, just for that sake, for the fact they look like letters, so they could spell a stupid or explicit word like effer, or S-head. I don't know how that would work, but anyway, this one's going to be a bit longer than the others because I just have so much to say about this one. Well, I just said most of it already, but here are some other things. It only learns 1 move, Hidden Power. It has really, really bad stats. Probably near as bad as the others. But the fact its gimmick just insults you, that they probably just ran out of ideas. I just went with letters. How effing annoying. I have only caught 1 because I couldn't be bothered to waste 27 more Pokeballs to get the alphabet plus 2 punctuation marks. If that's the correct term for the exclamation mark and question mark and how they're categorized. Either case, it deserves to be number 1 on my list. There you go. That's all 10. That's 10 worst, as well as 20 to 11. Top 20 worst. And Unown makes the number 1 spot. Now, you're probably wondering, why wasn't Magikarp or Feebas on this list? Well, in my next video, I'm going to talk to you about the ones that just missed out on the top 20. The ones that could have made it to the top 20, but for some reason they had redeeming factors that prevented them from accessing through the gate that is the top 20 club. Terrible metaphor, but what are you going to do? So, thank you for watching, and if you want to find out why I didn't put Pokemon like Lileep, Feebas, Plusle, Minun, Magikarp, Seaking, Shuckle, Phione and Lumineon, Wormadam, Maractus, Stunfisk, and so on into the list. So, thank you.